The thing you're most insecure about might be the very thing that saves you one day. Imagine this. In the vast, snowy forests of the north, strength was everything, and strength was measured by the bigger the antlers, the grander the pride. Stags would clash and lock horns to prove their power, to earn respect, to show the world who was dominant. It was the law of the forest, the way things had always been. But among them was one young stag, born with a smooth head, no antlers, no crown, no symbol of strength. He was an outlier, a question mark in a world of exclamation points. When the rest of the herd gathered by the frozen lake, admiring their powerful reflections in the ice, he always hung back, hidden behind the others. It wasn't because he was weak, not really. It was because he was ashamed. Whispers followed him through the silent, snow-covered trees. A stag with no antlers. Someone would mutter, "What kind of life can he possibly have?" They'd say, and slowly, drop by drop, those words began to fill his heart. He started to believe them. He started to see himself as incomplete, as less than. Then came the harshest winter anyone could remember. Snow fell relentlessly, burying familiar trails under a thick, white blanket. Ice coated every branch, turning the forest into a beautiful but treacherous trap. A piercing wind screamed through the trees, a warning that no one quite understood until it was too late. One moonless night, Tay appeared, shadows moving silently through the snow. Wolves. The herd exploded in panic, scattering into the thick, dark woods. The strongest stags, with their massive, glorious antlers, charged ahead, trying to clear a path. But their greatest asset became their greatest liability. Their huge antlers kept getting tangled in the low, frozen branches. They struggled, thrashing wildly. Branches snapped like gunshots. Snow cascaded down, and with every passing second, the wolves got closer. But in the middle of all this chaos, the antlerless stag ran, and something incredible happened. Nothing slowed him down. No branches trapped him. He slipped through narrow paths and tight gaps that no one else could even see, let alone pass through. He wasn't just running blindly, though. He knew these hidden trails near the forest floor, the secret ways he had walked alone all those times he felt like an outcast, staying behind the herd. He knew the forest's secrets because the forest had been his only companion. He looked back, seeing the fear in his herd's eyes, and made a choice. He turned and called out, and the others, desperate, followed him. He led them through tight spaces, between low-hanging branches, down a narrow, winding slope they'd never used before. He led them to a sheltered valley, a natural fortress where the wind couldn't reach and the wolves couldn't enter. That night, against all odds, the herd survived. At sunrise, the storm had finally passed. The forest was calm. The proud stags stood exhausted, their once grand antlers now scratched, chipped, and broken. They looked over at the one they had once pitied, the one they had whispered about, and for the very first time, no one laughed. No one whispered. There was only a silent, profound respect. The stag who had spent his life thinking he was born lacking was simply born for a different kind of strength. He realized that sometimes you don't need a crown to survive. You just need to not be trapped by the very things that others admire. I want you to listen to this. You weren't made to compete on their path. You were made to walk the path that can't. If you've ever, even for a moment, felt like you were not good enough, not strong enough, not like everyone else, I want you to remember the stag with no antlers. Some of the greatest gifts in life come wrapped in the paper we call imperfection. You are not missing something. You are built for a path that others wouldn't survive. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more. Stay strong. Stay